Okay, we're live. I'm just going to quickly share the link. All right, let's get back to work. Pretty sure last time I was working on the shields again, and what I did was I worked to separate the damage system from the knockback system, which I thought was kind of important. I think. So now I intend on testing it, but before I do that, I need to actually like create a node the uh, for the knockback system. I can get rid of this because I'm not using the invulnerability, a timer node for that anymore. Okay, so those variables that I created yesterday are showing up in the editor. Invulnerability duration, these were there before. But for some reason, the original, actually, there's one more change that I should probably make. For some reason, the original node type was spatial, but don't need that anymore. The reason it was a spatial in the first place is, excuse me, why isn't it highlighted green? Whatever. So anyways, the reason why it was a spatial node in the first place is because I had originally implemented like blocking in the health system, which was a bad idea, and that's why we got rid of it. And the way blocking used to work is when you press the block button, it would compare the angle that the player is like facing compared to the angle of the attack, and if it was like a certain, it's like less than 45 degrees of like opposite to each other, it would count as blocked. But measuring the angle required a spatial data. Oh, there you go. Now it's green. I guess it just took. I guess it just needed to take a little bit of time. Yeah, I guess the same thing needs to happen here. It should be a node. It's just a regular old vanilla node with no extra special stuff in it, and there's no errors, so we're probably good. Build, and let's change this type to node. Let's duplicate it and change this one to knockback system, and then knockback system. Knockback target should be, should be protag or protagonist. Looks good to me. Now, I'm 99% sure that it's not going to work right away, and I'm going to have to. There's probably like something that I forgot about that I'll have to debug, but oh right, I know what's wrong. I know exactly what's wrong. I know exactly why it won't work. Because I never actually call any function from the knockback system. Ugh. Wait, where's the armature? There it is. I wonder if I should be. And the problem with this is that now I have to go through each of these body colliders, and I have to assign the knockback. And well, I need to create a reference to the knockback system, but I also need to add it as like a node to each of the body colliders in this, and I have to do that for every enemy. I'm starting to wonder if I shouldn't do that, and instead I should hmm, do something, do a different approach. Because I'm thinking about this right now, and it doesn't seem very scalable. It was doable with just having a reference in the health system, but I'm feeling that, yeah, actually, this was never scalable in the first place. So now I'm thinking, what is the best way to have the body colliders, so like the individual limbs and collision, the individual the collision detection for the individual limbs and the body and the legs. How I get those to refer to the health system of whatever entity, whether it be the player or an enemy. How I get that? How do I establish that reference? You know what? I'm gonna do? I think I will use. No, no, I can't do that either. I was thinking I was gonna use um, the the scene unique name, but then I remembered that I don't necessarily want every single a body collider to have like a reference to a health system or knockback system, because I want things that don't have health or knockback to respond to taking damage or being attacked. Like for example, this thing. This is like a switch. You hit it and it turns yellow, and then the gate opens up. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have health or knockback. So if I was to use the C unique name feature, that could cause problems. And also the C unique name thing only works for um, it only works for what is this called? What is this called? I'm not sure what this is called. I forget. But these encapsulated nodes that have like that are instanced in. I'm not sure if that's the right word to use, but it's a node that has child nodes, but they are not part of the main scene, I guess. And this switch is one of those objects. Hmm. I guess I might as well just stick to what I'm doing right now for now. If it becomes a problem, I'll find a solution later. Oh, nice. I could just press tab and it all types itself for me. Oh, wonderful. Excuse me. If knockback system is not blank, then if what's the point of this? It seems kind of dumb. I don't need to check if it's null. If knockback system, oh right. Knockback system equals get node or null. Okay. So now I have a reference to knockback, and and I filled that reference in the editor. Now I just need to actually do the knockback. Okay. If is instance valid knockback system dot do knockback receive knockback. Wait a second. Uh, oh, right. I can just say this. This is for when radial is checked. Radial basically means that the knockback vector radiates up from a central point, usually the origin point of the damage, well, the origin point of the damager, the damage collider. So if I want it to be like a big area of effect that has knockback, then I know then the knockback will always radiate from the center point of the area of effect attack. But if I don't have that checked, then it's just the forward direction of the damage collider. So like it goes well, it always knocks back in the same direction, which I think is ideal for like non-area of effect attacks. I wonder if I should also do this for bullet scans. Bullet scan is basically just raycast damage. So it's like you get hit by the raycast and it deals damage to the body collider. Maybe I should have knockback for this too. And I recall that this also has a option for to pass a duration. I think what I should also do is be able to specify whether a damager has like a custom duration for the knockback. As custom knockback duration equals false. Oh. Oh, why is it a bool? You float. And then I need to take that all into account. So if there's a custom knockback duration on the damager, then it uses that, but otherwise it uses the knockback duration that is specified by the knockback controller. That's what I think I kind of want to do. EMG collider that has custom knockback duration. System dot see knockback dot EMG collider dot knockback vector. This is EMG collider dot knockback duration and else. Okay, I think that should cover. Still probably going to be bugs, but of course. Speak of the devil, bugs. Cannot instance scripted because knockback state could not be found. State old. I don't think I've ever. Okay, before I continue, okay, let's just make sure this actually builds. Oh, right. I need to delete this from the scene. So anyways, I want to I don't think I've ever demonstrated this in a video, but I changed the way I completely overhauled the way that swimming works in the game. I made it pretty much identical to the early 3D Zelda, the 3D Zelda games like Ocarina of Time. Oh, what's this? What's this? Okay. Okay, now I want to demonstrate the swimming stuff. I could be wrong. I could have demonstrated this at some point, but yeah, I intend on showing this right now. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty happy with the animations too. Yeah, that works too. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Okay, no more getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the thing that we're actually trying to test. Ah, nothing's happening. Oh, all right then. Nothing happened. What is going on? Oh, do I need to go back and assign the, yes, I do. Oh, crap. Well, let's try and highlight all of them at once. Oh no. Okay. Let's grab all the body colliders so that we can assign these all at the same time. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Let's do it one at a time. Oh, nope. Can't do that. That'll take even longer. It's gonna be tedious. This is what I was thinking. This is what I was worried about. Is kind of having to assign these isn't a very scalable solution. It would be better if I could search the tree at the start of the scene for these body colliders and stuff. And the damage colliders too, probably. That'd be helpful as well. Oh, I did the wrong one. Oh, I recently got into the Backrooms lore. You know, watched the Kane Pixels stuff like, I don't know, probably a year ago. But I only just recently discovered there's like a whole wiki of this like hundreds of rooms, or not rooms, but like levels with their own stuff, and like their whole this whole extended universe thing. It's like it's not quite to the same extent as SCP, but it's up there. I had no idea that it was that big. It's pretty decent too. It keeps going through like these overhauls where they change things, they add, remove floors. Oh, live chat. Here we go. Don't want to leave anybody out. Definitely a lot of like horror stuff in there though. So if that's not your thing, I'd avoid it. It's not all horror though. It's like SCP where there's like a wide variety of different genres. But the most popular stuff is horror, and that seems to be like most of the central theme. So it plays on the idea of like liminal spaces. So spaces that are kind of not really meant to be seen when they're empty. Things like hallways, dining halls, hotel like lobbies, waiting rooms, lots of stuff like that in back rooms. I'm making it sound really boring, but it plays on the idea that these places look creepy when there's nobody in them, and there's like you kind of get this feeling that you're not supposed to be there because it's closed. Except for it's not that so much that it's closed. It's that for some reason there's like this infinite room that seems to just be seems to fit like a certain vibe, like all the walls. So the first room called like a floor zero or level zero. It's all carpet. It's all carpeted. All the walls have this like 1980s or 90s yellow wallpaper. There's like this fluorescent light hum everywhere you go. And it's anomalous because nobody built it. It was just like always there for some reason. No, it all originated from like this 4chan post about that showed like a photograph of one of these places, and then it's basically said, if you no clip out of reality, you'll end up in the back rooms. Just from that, it's like this whole internet thing about it. And that's not the only. And like I said before, that's not the only room that they have. Huh? Uh-oh. What was that? Okay, let's try again. Oh, well, it kind of worked. That was kind of crazy. Wow. Okay. So now I need to figure out why that happened. So there was knockback, and I think the player took damage, but then he just shot through the ground. All right, then. Let's figure out what's going on. So what happened here is the player got like out of bounds or way too far away. That I think some floating point errors happened. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if ASDF gets. Let's see how many times ASDF gets printed to the console. It should only happen once, but if it happens multiple times, that's a sign that something wrong's happening. Hmm. What in the world? It works sometimes, but it doesn't work other times. Hmm. Okay, let's try and figure out when it works and when it doesn't work. So it prints ASDF to the console once, which is what I want. Hmm. Oh, I wonder if the problem isn't the knockback system at all. It seems like when the player dies, he gets teleported to or something happens, and then and then it breaks. Okay. It might have to. This might be working perfectly fine. It also seems kind of like this invulnerability duration isn't working as intended. Okay. Just out of curiosity, any viewers here? Nope. No viewers. Oh, stream's bitrate is lower than recommended. Okay, let's raise the bitrate. Let's try that. Is that better? Ah, excellent connection. Oh, make invulnerable is never called. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Make invulnerable. Vulnerability duration. So the reason why so what was happening there is the player's health was just instantly going to 0 because he was like getting hit in rapid succession and there was like no buffer time, I'd call it, between like each frame of getting hit. It's not like a per frame thing. It's more like there's multiple, so the player has multiple damage colliders, and when each of them gets hit by the player has multiple body colliders, and he takes damage each time an individual one of those gets hit by an attack. So if he gets hit by multiple, he just takes a whole lot of damage. What needs to happen is the health system needs to have a short invulnerability time, and that was never happening. I made the invulnerability system like yesterday, but for some reason I forgot to actually call it. Okay, let's see if it works this time. I'm feeling like the weird teleporting thing has nothing to do with knockback. For some reason, the player is just going to like just something weird's happening when the player dies. Okay. Why am I still flashing red? It's supposed to stop after like a certain time. Oh, I bet it's tied to the I bet that it's tied to like uh tied to something that has to do with the health system. Probably a signal. Huh. It's not really mission critical right now, but I think I might as well go and fix it before I forget. Okay. Looks like it's an animation controller thing. Set invulnerability. Argument 1. Parameters invulnerability add amount 1. How does this thing not have a search function? Okay. The player flashes red when this goes on. For some reason, it's going to 1 and then not going back to 0. Oh. Sorry, I have to end the stream early. Family stuff. Don't worry about it. Have a good night.